When it comes to people operating on my body or prettying up my body or just doing things with my body, I am met with a lot of anxiety. Even now, I have wisdom teeth to get pulled out of my body, and I have yet to schedule those appointments because I'm too afraid. I'm afraid of how my body's going to be treated. I'm afraid of people being rough with my body and not really caring about it, because this is a precious thing. And hello, can you be nice to me? I live here, right? Like, I live in my body. But people who operate on, pretty up, or do things to my body seem to forget that there is a soul living in here, that like there's a soul in here, that I have nerves that experience pain and distress and discomfort, and that communicate to my brain, hey, something is wrong, right? And the anxiety that I feel is the correct response. It's the correct response to someone mishandling and mistreating me. So I want to talk about an example, which is kind of light, but I went to get my nails done for my birthday this January. And every January I want to, get pretty. I want to, get my nails done, my feet done. I want to get a cute outfit. I want to go out to eat with my friends. Like, I want to feel special. So going to the nail salon is a big deal for me because I don't go often, because when I do, I have a lot of anxiety. I just feel like I have a lot of expectations that are never met. Like, I'm paying all this money and the paint be chipping, it don't be cute. People be rushing through the services and stuff like that. And it really bothers me. It gets under my skin because I'm paying you for a service and you're not taking your time with me. Let me not get ahead of myself. Okay. So whenever I go to the nail salon, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I am trusting my body, my hands and my feet, which are very precious to me, very precious things to me, with other people, because you say that you can do the job, you're licensed, I want you to care about your craft. Just like the lady who waxes me, she cares a lot about what she does. She takes her time. She's not rushing us. Like, she's giving our bodies what it needs because she pays attention. And it feels different when I go to a nail salon because it feels like I'm just another number, another person in their chair that they're just trying to get in and out, right? So I sat down with the lady. I told her what color I wanted. They show you little tabs and you pick the color that you want. And I said, I want 170. She said, okay, cool. She starts doing my nails. And so for this style, I only wanted gel polish, okay? Just gel polish, something that will last, something that is cute. She starts to do my nails and she uses this machine that's like a buffer. It rotates, right? And it's supposed to, I guess, like buff your nails to prepare for the gel to adhere to the nail, but it was burning. And I told her, hey, sorry, that hurts, that burns. And she pulled my hand back towards her like she was irritated with me, like somehow I was doing something wrong by acknowledging that my fingers were burning. It hurts. It hurts. And people always say this stuff like beauty is pain. I completely disagree. I think women go through a lot of pain because we feel a lot of pressure from the patriarchy to appear a certain way, right? And even this, like, me getting my nails done was not for anybody else but myself. I do a lot of things with my hands. I write, I sing, right? I play guitar, I have fun, I type. And so I play video games, right? And when I look down, I want to see a happy color looking back at me. It is for me. It is color therapy for me, But I still want the process to be enjoyable. So she starts doing my nails. She's nicking my cuticles. She's cutting my cuticles, which I don't like. I don't like when people cut the cuticles. It's there for a reason. It's there to keep me safe so I don't get infected. She cuts my cuticles and I start bleeding. And she's like applying pressure, but almost like in a rushed way, like me bleeding was a problem for her, right? But if she had taken her time, if she had listened to me, she would have known, hey, this does not feel good to me. And she probably would have avoided me bleeding. So I understand things happen. I'm very forgiving. It's like, it's whatever, it's fine. But then she starts to paint the color. And the color is completely different than the color I asked for. And so I asked her, I said, hey, that's not the color. Usually Alecia would sit there and just take it. I have so much anxiety. Like, I am not good with advocating for myself, but I'm getting better. And so I sat there and I said to her, hey, this is not the color that I requested. And she looked at me and was like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I said, no. And I pointed to the picture of the color that I showed her that I wanted. And then she goes and says, oh, well, we don't have that color. Ma'am, why would you start doing my nails knowing you don't have the product that I want? Then on top of that, she tried to tell me that her color choice was better. Not the one that I came in to pay for, right? Not the one she asked me for at the beginning of my session, but that whatever she chose was better than what I asked for. As if I'm not trustworthy, as if I'm just imagining this, as if this is not really happening. Like, we're just going to pretend that you didn't choose the wrong thing and put it on me to be like, oh, the problem is that you chose the wrong color. That got to me. You're trying to force me in your chair and force me to like something that I never asked for. Okay, so just keep all this in mind. We're gonna circle back. Okay, so I say this is not the color that I want. She says this is all we have. So I sat there just like stuck face, like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? Right. And I don't have any time to choose another color because she tells me that she has another customer coming in right after me. So she squeezed me into her schedule. So now I'm feeling bad because I feel like I'm a bother to her when she could have very well just said, hey, we don't have time for you. Our schedule is full today. She instead, because she wanted more money, I guess, said, hey, we can fit you in, right? But I didn't get the care that I was paying for. I didn't get the care that I was expecting. So she does my nails and it's definitely in the wrong color. Okay, it's definitely in the wrong color. And she gets done with it and I look at it and it's so gloopy and gobbly and it's just like done without care. And so I pay my little monies, okay? And I tip on top of that because what's wrong with me? I tip on top of that even though it's not what she asked me for, but I really care about people in the caregiving and community service, customer service community. Like I want to tip people. I want to tip people well. And I went to my car and I cried. I went to my car and I sobbed like a baby. This is the day before my birthday. And I'm just sobbing because I'm like, dag on, not even for my birthday can I be cute. Can I get the services that I desire and really want, you know? And so I sat in the car and I was just like, you know what? I only have to wear these for a couple of weeks. I sent the pictures to my husband because I was upset. And I was just like crying, like, this doesn't even look good. And I'm showing the bottom of my nails and like even under the nail, you know how you get for the people who get nails done, you know how they leave that stuff under the nail, like the leftover product, they don't clean it up. That's what my undernails looked like. It looked gross. And so I got myself together and I wiped my tears. I said, Alecia, I'm defending you. Okay. So I got myself together. I walked in and I became an advocate for myself. I walked in and came to the front desk and said, I just got my nails done here. I did not like it. I didn't like the service. And I would like a color change, please. Mind you, I was trying to avoid the lady who did my nails because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I didn't want her to see me come back in so that this is what's wrong with me, okay? People harm me and I worry about hurting their feelings. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to unlearn that because it's not healthy and it's not correct. But it's hard. And so I went to the front desk and I'm, in a quiet voice, hey, I just came in here. I want to change my color. Why'd I do that? The lady who just did my nails starts yelling from the other side of the shop at me. I just got her nails done. Why did she come back? Like talking about me like I'm not even there. So don't do that to me because that's going to make me feel disrespected because I'm right here. But also yelling at me, trying to embarrass me in front of other clientele, right? And so everybody's looking at me. I'm embarrassed because I don't like a lot of attention like that. I was trying not to be disruptive, right? Or offensive. And she went out of her way to offend me. So at this point, all bets are off because now I'm triggered. Now I feel upset. And I look at her and I say, can you stop yelling at me? What's wrong with you? Why are you yelling at me? You're being so unprofessional right now. I'm not yelling. I'm not raising my voice. I'm just saying in a very strong voice, please do not raise your voice at me. That is so disrespectful and so unnecessary. So I go to another person who agrees to redo my nails. And she tries to tell me like, oh, well, try to put it on me. Oh, well, for next time, this is the color. No, ma'am. You're not going to. Please don't do that. Please don't. It's the service. The service was awful. She was rushed. And I made her look at my nails and say, look at this and tell me that you think it's cute, that it's good. And I'll put a picture in it in the, so y'all can see. But anyway, tell me that this looks good. It didn't. And she couldn't say that it looked good, right? I said her service was awful. I'm bleeding from my cuticles right now. My nail beds are tender, right? And I didn't even mention this. When I was getting my nails done, the lady says to me, like I told her, I said, can you please paint all the way to the edges, right? Because I hate when people paint your nails and they leave that stuff on the side. It's just like nail just exposed on the side. Why are you doing that? Can you paint the whole thing? She looks at me and says, oh, well, I didn't want to do that to you because I didn't want your nails to look big. Okay. So you already disrespected me by talking about my eyebrows. Now you're telling me that my cuticles are too big. My nail beds are too big, right? And so I understand that you're creating the illusion, I guess, of like, how people like contour their face with makeup. I know nothing about makeup, by the way, but this is just from what I see. But people create the illusion of a thinner nose or like a more defined bone structure in their face, right? Like that's the magic of makeup. And I think that that's what she was trying to do with my nails. Like, oh, create the illusion that my nail beds are thinner than what they really are. And I was like, homegirl, I like my nail beds. I don't find every time I go to the nail shop, they give me something else to be insecure about. It doesn't necessarily work, but it's very frustrating because their model is to demean you and degrade you and your body, judge everything about your body so that they can make some money. And that feels so evil and disgusting to me and twisted. I'm coming here for a service, for care, and I'm leaving with more insecurities than I came in with. You feel me? It's just gross. So the new lady, did my nails the right way, with the right color, mind you, or it was like a color similar to it. And she took her time with me. And of course I had to pay on top of that because I just want to get out of here. I don't want to fight. Like, I'm tired. I done already boo-hooed in y'all parking lot. I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So I get my nails done. They're okay. It's whatever. I'll just take what I can get because the other ones were awful. And my nails are sore. My nail beds are sore. My hands are sore. I don't even think I got my feet done. I don't think I got my feet done because I was like, oh, I'm not staying for this either. Right? So anyway, that entire interaction was so traumatizing to me. And this was like an elective thing. This wasn't a thing that was necessary. This wasn't a thing that like is life and death. It's something that's supposed to be fun. Right? Like, we're all getting our nails done here for fun, to feel cute, to feel pampered, to feel elevated a little bit. January is a little slow, it's a little long. And for a lot of people, like, January is very depressing. And so people are here to get serviced, to add some color to their life. You know what I mean? And I was getting ready to celebrate my birth. And I felt, when I was crying in the car, I felt so violated. I felt like I was treated so roughly. The day before I'm supposed to be celebrating my entry into the world. Like, I felt so violated and harmed. And this lady really did not care about my body. Like, these are my hands. You feel me? Like, these are my hands. I do things with these. I hold people that I love with my hands. I create with my hands. Like, I hold things that I love, right? Not just people, but things. Like, I play guitar, I create music. Like, I do so many things with my hands and fingers. And it just felt so dishonored. It felt so dishonored. And I'm giving you my body, right? To say, hey, can you help me feel elevated in this thing? Or can you help me just put color on my nails? And instead of just adding color, which is supposed to be a fun experience, I'm leaving in tears because I feel hideous. I feel rough. I feel roughhoused. I feel like somebody took my body and didn't care that there was a soul living in it. I went to the dentist the time before the last time, and the guy who was in my mouth was so rough with me. First of all, the mouth is a very sensitive place. It's a very vulnerable place. You're sitting there with your mouth open. You feel me? Like, people are just playing in your mouth, poking at things, just being really rough. And I have a lot of anxiety around the dentist because this is my mouth. And if y'all mess up something in my mouth, I can't eat, I can't speak, I can't sing, right? Like, I can't chew, I can't do anything. You know what I mean? And a lot of dentists and doctors really treat the Black woman's body like it's a nuisance, like it's a bother. Like, how dare you come in here and ask for help and services and also to be treated like human? How dare you, right? These places really traumatize Black folks so much that they won't even seek services because of how roughly these practitioners are. And even when I think of the history of Black bodies being used as experiments in this country, right? Like, there's still remnants of that here. There's still a belief that a lot of doctors hold that Black skin doesn't feel pain like white skin does, right? That, like, these bizarre beliefs are still held very tightly by workers. I remember there were a bunch of nurses that went viral. What was that? Maybe like a couple of years ago, because they were complaining about people in labor asking for help in labor, right? Like, Black women's bodies are treated like trash. And because of that, a lot of people are afraid of seeking help. I remember one time I had a panic attack at a cookout and I almost passed out. And somebody called the ambulance and I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go on the ambulance because I didn't know what they were going to do to me and my body. Like, please be nice to my body. I live here. Please be nice to my body. I feel pain. Please be nice to my body. Like, you can forever alter my body in the way that it operates. Like, you're giving your body to people who don't care about your body. And that's the luck of the draw, right? Even though I'm talking about getting my nails done, it goes so much deeper than that. That whole nail experience was so traumatizing to me because I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel like my requests were even listened to or heard. I felt like whatever I was requesting, hey, ow, that hurts. Can you not do that? And as she pulled my hand back to her in frustration, like my pain didn't matter. And no, I will never go back to that same place, by the way. Not doing it. But like that really solidified to me like, yo, how you feel is not in your mind. How you don't feel safe in your body is not in your mind. I came to get services to feel held, to feel embraced, to feel well loved and well taken care of. You feel me? Because low key, I could have just done this at home myself, and it might not have been as, using air quotes, professional, but it would have been cute. And I would have at least enjoyed the process. I would have watched a documentary or a movie or something. It would have taken longer, but like I would have left with my sanity intact. You feel me? Like I wouldn't have left my own home feeling embarrassed or feeling like I'm a bother for paying for services, right? I wouldn't feel like my body is ugly or wrong, or that, my nail beds are too big. Like, girl, what? When you're getting your nails done, you can't do anything else, right? Because your hands are not free. Like someone is holding your hands, and you would at least hope they're holding your hands with love and with care and with kindness. You would hope that at least, I'm paying all this money, I would hope that you at least care enough, like, to not want me to be in pain, But a lot of these people are just concerned about making their money at whatever cost. I will degrade you to make more money. And that's how marketing goes with so many businesses. They sell you insecurity so you buy their product. You feel me? And because I know that, girl, you're not getting in my head, honey. No, I'm not getting my eyebrows done here. Absolutely not. Nope. Because you're not going to do it with care anyway. The lady that I get my eyebrows done, when I get them done, she takes at least 15 minutes on my eyebrows, taking her time, measuring it, right? Like saying, hey, she even tells me when I don't need to get them done because I have thin eyebrows. Like my eyebrows are kind of sparse in some areas. And she knows that because she knows me. She's taken time with my body and looked it over and has spent time with it and been like, you know what? We could actually skip an eyebrow thing today, an eyebrow waxing today. Let's do your underarms instead, right? Because like she's not in it just for the money. She actually cares about my well-being. And that's the difference, right? A lot of these organizations and businesses see Black bodies as a business opportunity and not as real people. They see the Black body as like one would see a land filled with oil. They see potential. They don't see the soul that is right there in front of them. They don't honor that person as a soul right there in front of them. And that was deeply traumatizing to me. When I sit down and think about it, I think about being in a Black woman's body and how unsafe I feel in my Black woman body all the time. Drive-by comments, men on corners, doctors, dentists, people looking to degrade you because you're not looking, using air quotes, respectable to them. Like the woman body is so over criticized, so thrown away, so over operated on. Hearing about how pregnant women giving birth, how Black women are more likely to be recommended that they have a C-section just to make money off of their bodies. And where do Black women go to feel safe in their bodies? If it's not in a medical, field, it's in the aesthetics, like, oh, you need this to be pretty, or let me recommend this. Like, I know you came in for this service, but no, how about you do this? Because you should feel insecure about that too, right? Because you're showing up in your Black woman body or in your woman body wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody is always in a woman's ear telling her how she doesn't add up, telling her how she's not beautiful, and reminding her that she is not safe, that she is here to be consumed, that everybody is here trying to make her more easily consumable, or just trying to consume her. Like, that's what it is to live in a Black woman's body. It's unending. It's never ending. And I really want to look at people and be like, again, please be nice to me. I live here. Please be nice and kind to my body. This is my home. This is not my safe space. This is my sanctuary. This is where I live. This is the body that I will have for the rest of my life. Please be kind to her. She literally loves me. That's the reason why she's here, to love me, to care for me. And all I'm trying to do is adorn her, to celebrate her, to take care of her, to get these wisdom teeth taken out. You feel me? That's all I'm trying to do. But it's scary because you don't know if someone is trying to do that same thing, if someone's trying to honor your body, or if they're just trying to make money off of it or cause further harm to it to make more money off of you, or if they just don't care at all, if they're apathetic, if they really have no eyes and heart to honor your body and your soul and your spirit. That's even scarier. That's even scarier. But I do want to talk about my actual birthday and how that really healed that trauma. Maybe it didn't heal it, but it soothed it, I'll say. It soothed the trauma. My friend Randall and I have the same birthday, January 26th. Whoop, whoop. And shout out to the January babies out there and the Aquarius babies. But we went to the Korean spa. And it was the first time I had ever been. I didn't know what to expect, but it was such a beautiful experience from start to finish. The night before I had dinner with my mom. That's like a tradition. We always have dinner together. And then the next day, I hung out with Randall, who also, again, has the same birthday as me. And we went to go get pampered at the spa. In line, we actually met another woman who actually has the same birthday as us as well. So it was really dope. Another Black woman. But going in, you go in, they give you a key, you pay your money, you put your shoes in a little locker, and you go change into a uniform. You're brought out to this space, this open space, where people sit and read on mats or take a nap or rest their bodies or have conversations like we were having. And I was telling her about my nail experience, and, she understood my frustration. She was really understanding. And she made a lot of room for me to mourn that experience because it was traumatizing. And she reflected back to me that, that was trash. And that is traumatizing. I'm so sorry that you experienced that, So even having my feelings validated by somebody else was healing. Because I'm trying to tell you, I'm very good at gaslighting myself. I'm very good at talking myself out of why I should feel a way. Like, oh, no, you shouldn't feel that way. This is just a service. It's not that serious. But no, that really wounded me. So we went there, we rested, and then we went into these sauna rooms. And there was one room that had clay balls, they're little tiny balls made of clay, and they're dry. You lay on them, and I felt cradled and held. And that did so much for me. I remember being a child and being small, and my parents carrying me and holding me, and how safe you felt as a child. I even have a vivid memory of my dad. We would ride bikes as a family. And so when I was little, they would put me on this car seat on the back of my father's bike. Now looking at that, I'm like, that has that's a lot of opportunity for disaster, But as a kid, you don't know any better because you feel so safe and secure with your parents. Your parents are the giant heroes. You feel me? There's nothing I need to fear. Not that feeling lasted long in, my story, but either way, for a small time, I felt held. And laying in those clay balls, it made me realize, how long has it been since I really felt held? The day before, I felt so unsafe in my body that I just was not there. I wasn't embodied. I wasn't there because it just hurt so much. I was so angry and frustrated. I felt like no one was listening to me. I felt like my autonomy was taken from me. And then when I did stand up for myself, when I did advocate for myself, I was punished. And so that was exhausting. That was an exhausting experience. But being able to lay in the clay balls and just be held and be okay and be surrounded with warmth and quiet and other people looking to get their peace as well was transformative. I could feel something in me, tension releasing that I was holding from the day before. That I don't think I really acknowledged. I think I was just putting on a smiling face. And that's the thing about birthdays too. That's a whole other conversation. I always feel like I have to perform happiness for my birthday for other people. When people send me happy birthdays and all this other stuff, I have to respond very happily and giddy, right? Because I want people to know that I appreciate their birthday wishes. So my birthday is hardly ever about me, right? It's about everybody else and making sure that everybody else knows that I'm appreciative of their birthday wishes. And that was the first day that I wasn't attached to my phone all day responding to people and phone calls. My phone was locked up in a locker and I had no other option but to be present with myself and the people that I was with for my birthday. So at first it was not easy. I'm like, oh no, I got to check my messages. But then 1 hour in, 2 hours in, laying in the clay balls, sweating, being cold in a cold sauna, which was a new experience for me. Okay, that was rough. It was cold. I didn't last 2 minutes because I don't like suffering. And I told my friend, I'm not doing this because I don't like suffering, but shout out to her because she stayed longer. But yeah, so it was a great time to really be still and be present with myself. And while I was present with myself, I had to confront the fact that I felt unsafe in my body. And I had been feeling that way for a couple of days now until this moment. In the Korean spa, you also have the option to visit their pools. And it's like a warm pool that you sit in. And it's really refreshing, but you have to get naked to go, right? And I love being naked. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I like being naked. I like having fun. Clothes can be a lot. Shoes can be a lot. Socks. I love when no matter how, I like being naked. I like being in my body. I like putting my feet in the grass. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be free, and sometimes clothes just don't feel free. It feels performative. It feels like wearing something that you're trying to convince somebody else that you're respectable. Like sometimes it just don't feel like me. What feels like me is me being in my body. And, but this was different because I'd have to get naked in front of a lot of other people, a lot of other women. So they have a woman side where it's like women only, like, where women can be naked and be free. And I'm trying to tell y'all, when I went to this section of the spa, I felt amazing. It was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch women of all ages, all sizes, all backgrounds, all hues, like just love their bodies. They're walking around naked, happy, not performing femininity, not performing beauty, just beautiful because they exist, beautiful because they're there. And there's nothing more inviting and beautiful, right, than a woman who is standing in all of herself and like, yo, this is my body. Yes, I am 80 something years old. And look at this. Look at these breasts. Look at these hips. Look at this stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just so breathtakingly beautiful. It was a world away from, even though right outside the doors, we often, Black women, feel the need to always have to put on for other people and look a certain way and carry ourselves a certain way. So, women in general, put on a bra, put on a waist trainer and, these tight behind pants or whatever to look good enough. And in this space, no woman was worried about being consumed or being viewed through the male gaze. Such a sanctuary. That place of women just being naked in their bodies and loving their bodies, getting their bodies scrubbed, getting them massaged, relaxing in a pool, in a sauna. You feel me? Like just not worried about nothing, not even worried about other women looking at their bodies. It was just so beautiful. And like, this was the medicine I needed from yesterday, where I felt like my body was not mine, where I felt like, oh, anybody can do anything to me and it doesn't matter, right? That my body is just here to be consumed or to make money off of. You feel me? And in this space, like, yeah, we paid to be here. But in this space, we were all just existing and being. We were just being. We were just being human. Human. For however long we were in there for like a couple of hours. For however long we were in there, we were not thinking about nobody else but ourselves. But our bodies. What do our bodies need? What do our bodies feel? What's going on? And even in that space, I was able to really interrogate my grief and my trauma from the day before, and also realize that I have a lot of unprocessed trauma dealing with my body. Like, how long does a woman's body really belong to her? I wrote a piece about that, and I'll probably share it later, but our bodies are not ours for a long time. Little girls are taught to perform for their moms, for their aunties, their grandma, their uncles, their fathers, Then when they reach a certain age, now you got to be cute enough for men, for little boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that never leaves us. And really, it's not a long time that Black women's bodies belong to themselves without somebody offering a criticism or sexualizing us, or violating us, even with their eyes. Like, we all know that, that yuck feeling of an older man looking at us and how that just makes us feel unsafe. And I feel like for a lot of Black women, we feel so unsafe in our bodies. Our bodies can't even expand without somebody mentioning that we're overweight. Our bodies can't, become thinner without somebody mentioning that we're becoming thinner. You feel me? Like, we're always performing in these bodies, and our bodies are never enough. Our bodies are never perfect enough. But for a couple of hours, I didn't have to think about what other people were thinking about my body at all. And it was the most healing, restorative, heartbreaking experience that I ever experienced in my body. I wish I could bottle up that feeling that I felt in that spa I wish I could bottle up the joy, the beauty. Like, even I was looking over women's bodies, not sexually, but just like, wow, like beautiful, right? And not, not lingering, but just like, wow, like you're giving me invitation to love myself too. If you're not worried about your little belly hanging over, then why am I worried about mine? If you're not worried about your little cellulite, which most women have, by the way, then why am I worried about mine? I thought about that too. Most women have cellulite, but we think something's wrong with us if we have it. That don't make no sense. If most of us have it, then that seems to be, using air quotes, normal. But it's always someone selling us that we're not enough. It's always someone telling us that we're not good enough. That we're not good enough. And it's heartbreaking because when do we really have those spaces? Where do we really get to exist without being wrapped up, tied up, or worried about how we're presenting, how our hair looks, like how our nails look? Like where do we exist in these spaces where people are not making whole judgments of our character and our worth and our value based on how we look and appear in this world, especially as Black women? Where are those spaces? Every day, like Black women are just like just blindsided by some man or woman somewhere telling us why we're not enough. You're not feminine enough. You're not cute enough. You're not whatever. You're not professional enough. You're not light skin enough, dark skin enough. You're not, it's mostly light skin enough, but you're not thin enough. It's just everyone telling us why we're not enough. Or if you are thin, or you're not curvy in the right places. It's if you are comfortable with your body, it's revolutionary. Why is that? Because there's not a time that I can remember existing where I was not worried or concerned about how I look in my body or how my body was being viewed or consumed by other people. I cannot remember a time. And so going to that spa and that place really helped me to get in my body, to be here, to be in the moment, to appreciate my lumps and my cellulite and my folds, right? To appreciate the asymmetry of my body, how my body is not the same on both sides. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. Like how to love, if these people can love their bodies and not be thinking about little old me, I can do the same thing. It was such an invitation for self-love, and marveling at yourself and not seeing yourself as a product or not seeing yourself as having to get it right. Because what does that even mean? If you're in your body, you are right. You are right in your body. And for Black women, like, when is anyone ever gentle with us? Whether it be our hair, because we have thicker hair. You just tender-headed. No, you're being rough with me. What? Like, this hair is growing out of my scalp. Please be gentle with it. It's attached to nerve endings. Please be gentle with it. Hello? Getting your nails done. Like, please be gentle with my hands. I need these. I hope to have these into my older age. I need these to be well. Please clean your stuff. Please don't cause me to bleed. Please take your time with me, right? Don't rush over me. At the doctor's office, I had this revolutionary experience. I had a woman doctor who was my GYN, and she sat there and talked to me for like 30 minutes. I had never experienced anything like that in my entire life. Usually all the doctors I have, after the nurses do your blood and, check your blood pressure and all this other stuff and ask you all the questions and they basically do all the work, then the doctor comes in and gives you something. This woman sat in front of me and like talked to me woman to woman, like, and she was from PG County, shout out to PG County, and gave me very much PG County where I felt safe. I didn't have to code switch. I didn't have to use language I wasn't comfortable with. She didn't use language with me that I wouldn't understand. She was talking to me like she cared about what she did. And I literally had to thank her. I was like, thank you so much for being kind to me. Oh, I feel like I'm going to cry. Thank you so much for being gentle with me, for taking your time with me, for not being annoyed that I have questions about my body. You feel me? Like, thank you so much. That is not a common practice here in the States. It's not. It's not a common experience where people are kind and gentle with your body, especially if you have a Black body. And we're not gentle with each other. We're so critical of each other. We tear each other down, and I feel like it's because we are primed to do that because that's what's been done to us. We even say stuff like, as Black folks, we take stuff as love, right? Like, even though it can be offensive or whatever, we smile and grin and bear it because like, okay, this is their way of showing love. But why don't Black women deserve gentleness either? Right? Like, why can't we be gentle with one another? even if it is saying something that we have to say. And then also questioning, do we have to say it? Is my opinion necessary? Why do you think your opinion about how a woman looks in her body matters more than how she feels in her body? What is that? Why do we think that we have this power over people, that we're so important, that people should care about what we think about their bodies? What is that? What is going on? You as a Black woman deserve gentleness. And I'll probably put the link to that video after this, because you deserve gentleness. You deserve to be treated with respect and kindness and care. I don't care if you're paying for a service. I don't care if you can't do that service yourself. You're paying for it. That money should be treated well. Your body should be treated well. You don't have to settle for services that you don't like. That's something that I learned. That was the moment I stood up at 33, because I wasn't 34 yet. At 33 years old, I said, you know what? I'm going to stand up for myself and be like, you know what? I actually don't like this. Being able to even advocate for myself in that way. I don't have to take subpar services just because I'm paying you. And I also don't have to like the service you gave me. Especially when I know that you didn't take your time, you didn't care for me, you weren't kind with me. Why am I trying to protect your feelings when you weren't even trying to protect my body? Hello? So for all the people pleaser girls out there, I get it. I see you. The people who it's hard to advocate for yourself, you advocate for everybody else. But for some reason, for yourself, it is hard. I hear you and I see you and I celebrate you. And it is hard because the entire world is telling you that you don't matter. The entire world is telling you that you are the mule for the whole world. The entire world is telling you that you don't feel pain, right? Like everybody else, that you're strong, resilient, that you can take it. I understand. But we got to not gaslight ourselves. You feel me? Because you know what pain is. You know you didn't like that. And then open yourself up to more experiences where you feel held, where you feel, and I even want to talk about this real quick, being held, right? This idea of being held. I was at an event last weekend. It was for like Black women and femmes, like healing. And it was in honor of Sister Sonia Massey. It was just a self-care experience. It was beautiful. It was transformative. It was just like, just everything I needed, everything my soul needed. And one thing that somebody was talking about, she was giving a workshop on like rope play and like, you know, like in the kink community, that's like a thing. But one thing that she said to me that really stuck out was about why she liked rope play. And she said she liked it because it helps her to feel held. And I was like, wow, what a beautiful sentiment, right? And she says, like, we all want to be held. Being held begins with someone perceiving us and seeing us. And when she said that, I was like, whoo, like, you know, those moments in the movies where like the camera zooms in and like the background fades out. In that moment, it's like, yes, like we all want to be held and be held gently. We all want to be held with love, you know, and care and time and effort. When we have conversations with people, we can tell when they're paying attention. We can tell when they're holding us, when they're caring for us, when they actually care about what we're saying. You feel me? Like the energy is different. And I want you to be around more energies that actually reflect how beautiful and brilliant you are, how precious you are. You are a precious gift to this world. You're a precious gift to yourself, to your family, your friends, to the environment. You deserve to be treated with gentleness and kindness. Okay? Well, all right, friends. That was pretty much my story that I wanted to share with you. It's been a few months. I won't say a year. It's been a few months because it's only, almost October. But like that experience is still so fresh. It's still so new for me. And every day I find something new. Like instead of running away and turning away like I always do and turning a blind eye, like, okay, whatever. I was harmed, but you know, just moving forward, how Black women always have to do, just move forward, just keep going, keep going. No, sitting with that pain and expressing to myself why this hurt me and listening to myself with compassion and care. And not rushing myself through this process or telling myself, girl, it shouldn't be that bad. Why is it that bad? Because I felt violated in my skin. I felt like my home was violated. I felt like I was violated and I was uncared for and nobody cared. Even when I was reaching out and asking for help and saying, hey, can you not hurt me anymore? Going to that dentist, flash back to that experience. All these things are connected. That dentist who was in my mouth and just doing stuff in there, not listening to my screams or like, that's the fear. That's the trauma. The trauma of never being home and never being seen as a holy being, but never feeling at home in your body. And I'm here to remind you that it's not your fault. It's not some sort of, you know, internal something. It could be, right? Maybe, but for most of us, It's real lived trauma. And these we go from one traumatic experience to the next and keep on pushing and rolling through. No, interrogate that stuff. Interrogate why. And that's why, friends, I do my nails myself at home. So I hope that you got something from this. You are a precious being. You're enough. Thank you for listening to me and my story. Thank you for holding me. Thank you for holding space for me. You listening to me speak is also you holding me, and I really appreciate that. And I will talk to you all in the next one. You are holy. You are divine. You are worthy of gentleness. You are worthy of love. You are a precious, precious, precious gift and a precious being. Okay? Talk to you later.